All right, thanks, guys. Arturas, you've obviously had some busy days, and I know you like to keep things close to the vest, but the people that I talk to say that you were extremely active leading up to the trade deadline. How do you feel like you came out after the trade deadline?
No, I think I'm happy where we are. I remember trade deadline 4 years ago when we acquired Vuce, and we had like new 5 players. And it was tough for the 30 games remaining in the season, to finish the season and to keep the same group and learning how to play with each other and all this stuff. So I think, I'm happy where we landed, and hopefully to see all those, young players grow. Obviously, Vuce is huge. He's going to play a huge role with those guys. He's a big part of what we do offensively and defensively. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see them next 30 days.
You've obviously made significant changes recently with trading DeMar DeRozan and Alex Caruso and now Zach LaVine. There are some who will say, why didn't you do more and continue the teardown? Did you try to accomplish more?
I mean, you always take calls. There's always opportunities. We didn't think at this point that there were right moves to be made. Next move is obviously around the draft and free agency, and we're going to be ready for that. And
fans and media like to label things. So, I mean, are you prepared to call this a rebuild, a retool, and kind of what are the goals for the rest of the season?
That word. Me personally, I like it transition for organization, transition. And I think a full rebuild is overused word. And then in terms of construction of our team, we have so many young players, but those players have, 6, 5, 4 years under their belt. So they're pretty experienced players. So I would stay away from that.
You obviously are in a position now where you control your draft pick. There are some who would say, lose as many games as possible to improve that draft standing. What is kind of your philosophy for these last 30 games in terms of prioritizing play-in or playoffs or the draft pick?
Well, in terms of like integrity of the game, I would never want to lose games. I'm competitive. Billy's competitive. So I think at the end of the day, if this young team can be in a play-in and compete in the playoffs, I think it's a win, because then your young players are developing. And if we're not, then we're going to get a higher pick. So I think it's a win-win for us.
We're going to get into the new players you acquired in a second, but I've told you this before. I personally am a huge Zach LaVine fan. I know you are too. How difficult was it to trade him, and why wouldn't you maybe try to keep him and build around him?
Well, it was difficult, right? So, last 4 years I watched, Zach grow, and, he was 2-time All-Star here with us, and to watch, his family, him maturing, and his kids running around, and you get pretty close, and it's always hard to see a player go, but I wish him all the best in Sacramento.
Nikola Vucevic was the subject of much trade speculation. How close did you get on a deal with him, and are you worried at all about any lingering feelings of did they want me, didn't they want me?
No, I'm happy to have Vuce. He leads our team in games played. He's always available. He's a 20 and 10 guy. I think there are only like 7 players in the league, right, that averaging 20 and 10 is very important to what we do offensively and defensively. Teammates love him. He's ultimate professional, and love to have him there.
Lonzo Ball is one of the best comeback stories, not only in the NBA, but really in the history of professional sports. Why did you want to sign him to an extension?
Well, just watching his growth this year and how he was getting better and better every game, and how important he was to winning games and impact on his teammates in a positive way. What he's been through, resiliency. After last 3 years, his comeback was unbelievable. So We wanted to have him part of our future, and he wanted to be here.
How important was it in your and Mark and your staff seat to have control of all your first-round draft capital moving forward?
I think it was very important for a lot of things. For again, for Billy not answering your questions if you want to land the top 10 or anything like that. So I think right now, when we have freedom in terms of where we're going to land, and also to have control over all our picks moving forward.
What's your plan post-trade deadline?
Now, trade deadline screws around with my workout schedule, so I'm going to go work out for sure.
As soon as I stop asking you questions?
Exactly, because I spent so much time in the office and conference room and being on the phone, so I'm going to decompress, have a good meal, and hopefully have a good night's sleep.
All right, well, we appreciate your time, Arturas, and good luck down the stretch of this season.